What's going on in the real estate market today? Hi, I'm Dave with the Bolduc Realty Group. Welcome to my weekly real estate market update. It's a big weekend, heading down to Philadelphia for the Army-Navy game. Go Navy. Also, the North Haven football team, high school football team, is playing in the state championships tomorrow. Kind of breaks my heart because I was an assistant coach for the seniors from 3rd to 8th grade. But boys, I have all the confidence in the world in you. Keep your head in the game, drive hard, and you're going to do a great job. Good luck out there tomorrow. Let's talk about the real estate market. First, YouTube algorithm. Please like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and throw some comments down below. I like to interact with people, answer questions. If you've got anything that you want me to talk about, I'll be glad to do it. I focus on Connecticut. This is where my clients are, and this is what I work on. So, talking about file, foreclosures, inventory, lending practices, and unemployment rather. Foreclosures are pretty steady. We looked at them last week. The Connecticut foreclosure numbers are just a little bit higher than during the moratorium. I think this is probably the last thing we're going to see a lot of activity in if things go south, because foreclosures are kind of at the end of the process. Keep an eye on them anyway, but that's what we're seeing right now. There are a few out there, not a big number. Inventory is low. We got 4,958 houses on the market. We're less than 5,000, and that's single family, multifamily, and condo combined. So it's a very low number, down 178 from last week. I'm not surprised that we're seeing the number go down because we're going into the winter, and every year it's very cyclical. Inventory goes down in the winter, up in the summer. Very normal, but we do have a very low inventory point. What I am seeing is I've had 2 people over the last 2 days reach out to me, say, hey, interest rates are coming down a little bit. Should I be out there buying? Should I be out there looking? So I'm seeing a little bit of resurgence in demand because the lending practices, interest rates, are down. They're down about, I'd say 3/4 of a point from, I think 7.08 was the peak, down to 6.33 right now, according to the primary mortgage market survey. And I've seen lower on other sites. So as interest rates continue to trend down, if they continue to trend down, I think we will see a little bit more activity, especially after we get into January. We got a PPI report coming up, and also, we just had a jobs report, and the next Fed meeting I think is coming up in a week or two. So those are going to be some things that people will be watching. But right now interest rates are starting to trend down a little bit. We'll see how that plays out. One thing I am seeing from lending practices is I've seen a few more lenders reaching out and saying, hey, we have these no-doc loans. We have these new programs that we've come together. They're trying to get loans because they're not doing refinances and they're not doing as many purchases as they used to. So they're looking to generate money. The concern I have is, are they loosening their standards? Because if they are, that's what brought us into the early 2000s, into 2008, and with all the problems that we had. So hopefully that's not the case, but I'm going to keep an eye on that, and we'll see what plays out there. And the last thing is employment. So we had a very strong job reports last week, much more strong than expected. It was like 263,000 new jobs versus an expected 200. But then on the other side, we have companies reporting layoffs. Several of these large tech companies, 10, 20,000 layoffs. Connecticut, I haven't really heard too much about it, but I'm going to continue to watch that. I think between the lending practices and the employment, the layoffs, those are going to be the 2 leading indicators if things are starting to go south. So I'll be keeping an eye on those to see what's happening, and I'm here every week letting you know what's going on. So hopefully you'll be tuning in to do that. The one thing I want to really bring home is real estate is local. So like I said, my clients are in Connecticut. I'm focused on Connecticut. Are there other markets that are seeing softening and seeing different situations? Absolutely, there always are. If you look in California, if you look in the Pacific Northwest, they're seeing inventories climb. They're seeing prices come down. Well, their prices went through the roof over the last couple of years, way more than ours did. And also, there's a lot of people leaving that area. So if you have people leaving, then you're getting more houses on the market, more supply. And if there's people aren't coming in behind them, then that means there's not as much demand, which is already pushed down by high interest rates. Now you've got low demand, high supply, prices go south. That's what's happening out there. It's a supply and demand issue, in my opinion. I'm not an expert, but that's what I'm seeing. So, just keep that in mind. Real estate is local. What I'm seeing in Connecticut right now is a fairly balanced market. Inventory is very, very low, but so is demand. So between the two, we're striking a pretty decent balance. If you've got a really nice house, it's going to sell, and it's going to sell fairly quickly. If you've got a house that's a little bit of a clunker, it may take a little time. But we can talk about that if that's something you're looking for. Anyway, the last thing I want to say is, although it's a beautiful day today, we know the bad weather's coming. check your windshield wipers and your wiper fluid. You know, if you've ever been driving, you get wet roads with salt and sand on the road, your windshields get dirty. You don't want to be dealing with that stuff when it's frozen and nasty out. Just take care of it right now. Save yourself a little bit of pain and suffering. Throw an extra jug of the wiper fluid in the car. That's a good hint. Anyway, you guys have a great weekend. Go Navy. Go North Haven football. And I'll talk to you soon.